Because God said we can't.
God said you can't.
Luke 21. Yeah, I'm going to show you Luke chapter 21, and I read verse 20 down to 24.
Would tell you, if who's made in his image, that you can't go back to Israel.
Yeah, but it goes back to the reason why we can't go back. He kicked us out. The man that's so powerful put us out. That's why we in a land that's not ours. And a lot of people, you may not do it, call themselves African American, Haitian, Jamaican. Okay, but we've been kicked out of the land we come from.
It just says that we got off on different boats.
Well, I got off on the same boat you did. I'm so-called African American too.
Right.
Let me read this for you. Okay. Read that. Luke 21, start at 20.
The book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies.
This is Christ talking about Jerusalem being compassed. The armies are the Roman armies during that time of 70 AD.
Got it?
Read.
Then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
It's going to be destroyed. Read.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains.
So Judea is the Greek form of saying Judah. Judah's the English word. Yehuda would be the quote-unquote Hebrew way of saying it, right? Now read verse 24 and see what God says. What Christ said would happen when the destruction came. Read that.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
They would be the 12 tribes of Israel. Judah, Benjamin, Levi. African Americans, American blacks, God calls them Judah in the Bible. West Indians, which would be the Caribbeans, like you just mentioned,
correct.
Their forefather is Benjamin from the nation of Israel.
Correct.
So those are the different tribes. Haitians, I consider Levi, and so on and so forth. So it said, they shall fall by the edge of the sword. Read.
And shall be led away captive into all nations.
So you see what Christ said? Once they fall by the sword, when Jerusalem is surrounded by the armies, meaning the Roman armies, they shall be what?
Led away captive into all nations.
Now, what's the history of mine and your people from the Caribbeans? What happened to us historically that didn't happen to anybody else on the face of the earth? Slavery by way of what though? Because other people have been in slavery in history too. That's a common thing throughout history, right? People being enslaved. But there's one trait that's between me and you that nobody else can say, no other nation can say, that they went into slavery on what? You just said it. By what means? By, yeah, but what do they call a big ass boat? A ship. God said, Christ said that when these places are surrounded, you are going to be led away captive into all nations.
Okay.
What people did that happen to? Me and you, right? Now look what he says, once we were led away captive. This is history, but we reading it out the Bible. I'm giving you historical facts, but it's in the Bible. Read that from the top again.
Verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down by the Gentiles.
Trodden means walk. When you trod on something, it said Jerusalem shall be walked upon by who?
Of the Gentiles.
So Christ is saying once the real Jews have been sent away into all nations upon ships, then Jerusalem right here would be walked on by Gentiles. So Christ is telling you that the real people there right now are not the real Jews, because the real Jews were led away as slaves into all nations. Now, what happens then if once they was led away? Would they be able to freely go back once Gentiles have been set up? Let's see what God says. Baruch chapter 2. Because this is historical, because I used to be into the whole Kemetic thing too. I know all about Amin Ra and all of his name, and I used to know the name of it. I forget it. It followed Dr. Ben Yakinan, all of that. But one thing I had a question of, let me finish it. One question I had was, who was the people that was on the wall of those hieroglyphs that the Egyptians had in slavery? Bring it out! Because people don't build their own empires. White man didn't build shit in America. Who built America? blacks and Hispanics, because people don't build their own empire, they use slaves to do it. The pyramids and stuff. Well, who's those slaves that's on the wall? Because the Egyptians wasn't picking up 100,000 boulders, 100,000-pound boulders.
Right.
So who was those people?
What? Do you really think that you all would be slaves and over there building pyramids? Do you think that?
That's what we, well, listen, let me show you historically with a geographic map. Now, we all know that Egypt is right here, right? On the northeast corner of Africa.
Correct.
And we know that Israel is adjacent right there next to it, right?
Okay.
Israel's right there.
Right.
So if black people was in Egypt, why can't they be in Israel? Because Christ just said the people that lived in Israel would go into slavery on ships. So those people that was in Egypt, they left out of Egypt, started a homeland in Israel. They are the ones that built the pyramids for the Egyptians as slaves.
So let me ask you this.
That's us.
So it's a bunch of Israelites, right?
A nation of people.
Right, a nation of people. And you're in Cairo. Kemetic,
that's where we started out at.
Right?
Give me that in Genesis.
Right.
Oh, you got Exodus, whole Exodus.
It's a bunch of y'all.
It's a nation of people. Right. It's a nation.
Would you really stay there or would you flee?
Check this out, sis. That's an excellent question you said. Black people are a nation of people, right?
Right.
How did we get here? Okay, we're a nation of people, right?
Okay.
How come we ain't fled the place where we've been enslaved?
You're right.
It's the same exact thing. Ain't no difference. You know why? Because God said your ass was going to be here. And it ain't going to be nothing you'll be able to do. Now let me read this in Exodus for you. Read that in Exodus chapter 1. We'll get straight to the point. Verse 11. Yep.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters.
What did black folk have here in America in the fields and in the Caribbean? Yeah, but what did they set over them to make sure them slaves did the work? What they call them?
Taskmasters.
Remember them slave movies where that dude be on the damn horse?
Yeah.
It's the same thing we read it about the Israelites in Egypt. We in the book of Exodus.
Okay.
Read.
Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
Do what?
To afflict them with their burdens.
Didn't that happen to black folk in the sugarcane fields? We was afflicted with our burdens. We was forced to pick cotton, sugarcane, tobacco from sun up to sundown, no matter how damn hot it was. They didn't care if you passed out and dropped down dead in the damn cotton field. They drag your ass out, throw you into a hole, and tell the rest of the slaves, you better keep working and make that quota or you're going to be right there next to them. Right? That happened to them. Keep reading. Now let's see who it's talking about in ancient times of Egypt. Read.
And they built for Pharaoh.
Who?
For Pharaoh.
Pharaoh, his name was Ramesses.
But see, you gotta understand though, now Pharaoh is
As a title, but it gives us. Pharaoh's also, but that's another name for saying king in that language, Pharaoh.
See, that's false though. That's false.
Because it was many people named Pharaoh.
We would be Nasuts. We would be Nasuts.
You can call it whatever, but the man that was at the top that ruled.
You wouldn't say that's Pharaoh. You're gonna say there go Barack Obama.
No, you wouldn't. You say no. You know how you know that? How do they address the president? Do they say, "Hey, what's up, Barack"? How do they address him?
Let's say president.
Thank you. That's the same thing they say, but that's the same thing they would say to the king that was on the throne. They would say Pharaoh because his name is Remy. It's a title of respect.
Can we say things are falsified?
No, you can't say because I just gave you true history of how we got here on ships. So that ain't falsified.
If I was to go to the library, where am I going to pick that book up from?
We ain't got the Bible in the library. You know why? Because they don't want niggas reading it. You know where they send you? They send you to church.
I don't go to church.
But that's why your pastors ain't never came out here on the streets because they don't want the people to know the Bible.
Before they removed that was in the
They used to be in the schools.
friction.
Nah, it used to be in the schools. Fiction, not friction. Fictional. Well, the white man can say whatever he wants to about it, but we know it's a true book.
With me, there's no right or wrong.
No, it isn't right or wrong. Don't say that. Do you have kids?
Of course I have kids.
Is it right or wrong with them kids?
So far as what?
Is it right and wrong with them kids?
Not with my kids.
Oh, come on,
No,
sis.
real talk.
Come on.
If I feel
Come on,
I feel
man.
like if we take,
You a better parent than that.
If we take right now, I'm not. My kids are not disrespectful.
Okay, so if they disrespect you, would that be wrong?
It would be wrong, but what
So
I'm
it's
not
a right and a
gonna do,
wrong,
I'm not
sis.
whooping them. We gotta take right or wrong out.
It is a right or wrong.
Because I'd rather talk where the next person be whether they want to strike.
Yeah, but even to get to that point of talking, it had to be something done wrong to get to that point. Because you wouldn't give them a talking if they was doing what you told them to do.
So we gonna agree.
So we can't play. You know what you try to play?
What?
Semantics. We get that all the time. It's no right or wrong. Every day you get it is a right and a wrong. A man should not lay down with a woman and have sex with her and bring a baby into this world and not take care of his damn kids.
Right.
Is that right or wrong? Is that right or wrong? Is it right or wrong, sis? No. Is it right or wrong?
To bring a kid in knowing you can't take care of it, no, that's wrong.
There you go. So it is. So we can't live by that. Everybody do you. There's no right or wrong. That is confusion. That's why black folk are lost in America right now.
Right. Lost in America.
Everybody got their own subject they want to do.
See this right here, we hide. We hide. But one thing about those kids that we lay down and have, what we bring them up at? Church.
Okay, and you shouldn't.
Right.
We're not claiming that. Because this is, I don't know, because we are Israelites in Christ. We know that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are Israelites.
That's right.
We do not go to what you call modern church and be in Christianity. Because the Bible is not about religion.
Right,
The Bible's a history book. Because I just gave to you where Christ said, they, talking about the Israelites, shall be led away captive into all nations. That's our history. That ain't religion.
Right.
What white man has done when we was in slavery, they took our book, our historical book, and turned it into a religious book and profited off of it and told black folk, all you got to do is believe on the name of Jesus, white Jesus at that, and then you go die and go to heaven. They've been telling black folk that since slavery, and look at the damn hoods we live in. Cause Lauder Hill, the projects is somewhere around here. They ain't changed since Obama was in the damn office. You know what? Give me that Deuteronomy 28 and read verse 15, and we're gonna jump to verse 29. Well, I'm gonna show you. You're gonna like it after this. Watch this. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
God said, if you don't listen to me, and he said, if you don't do these commandments, he didn't say religion. If you don't do the commandments, read,
And the statutes which I commanded this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now I'm gonna ask both y'all a question. Would you rather be blessed or would you rather be cursed? Just in general. If somebody say, hey man, I cursed the hell out of you. Would you be, oh man, thank you for that. Give me another one.
But then curse could be curse words.
Yeah, it could be, but whether, hell, I don't know nobody cussing at me. Either way, would you rather somebody curse you or bless you? Which one, brother? Okay, what would you say?
I would say blessed.
A blessed. Now God said if you don't keep the commandments that I gave you as my children, I will place curses upon you. Now, I'm going to go to a main curse, and you tell me if this happened to black folk all throughout the Caribbean, throughout the diaspora, the west coast of Africa, here in America. Give me that in verse, what we say, verse 68. Give me verse 68. Read this.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68.
I want you to pay attention because I'm teaching history from the Bible, not religion. Now, I say black people was under a curse. Although we are blessed by God because we made in his image, black and woolly hair, but he put us under curses for not listening. Listen to one of the curses. Read that.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with...
Hold on. Now it said, God said, I'm going to bring you into Egypt. Now we was just talking about Egypt, right? And I asked you, who was the black people that was on the hieroglyphs that the Egyptians was whipping? They was building those pyramids and things of that nature. Who was those people? That was my question. Now God is telling the 12 tribes of Israel, I will bring you into Egypt again. Deuteronomy 5 and 6, because God is going to explain to the novice what Egypt means, so you don't make up your own definition and it be a gray area that you can argue semantics on. Look how definite God is. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5 and verse 6. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Talking about Egypt again, right? Read.
From the house of bondage.
God referred to Egypt as the what? The house of what? Bondage, right? Now what's another word for bondage? If I've been bound and I'm in bondage. Y'all need to get the damn signs, y'all.
Things like that. I got you.
What is that? That's called what? What's another word for bondage? It's called what? Where was we at when we got here?
What's that, jail?
Yeah, jail, but what is it?
Like prison?
What is it when you're getting sold to another person? What's the word for it? Come on, your ancestors came from it. It ain't like your ass got here on a cruise ship. You didn't fly in on a 747 jumbo jet. You got here by slavery.
Okay.
That's our history. That's history. We can't deny it.
Right.
It is what it is. They teach it every February during Black History Month. You niggas were slaves. Abraham Lincoln freed you. You started to vote. Martin Luther King got hit in the head with a rock. And now we all won in democracy. All right, you niggas, go back to your hood. I'll go back to where I come from in the suburbs. They teach it every February. Now we went into Egypt. What God called Egypt again?
From the house of bondage.
Another word for bondage is what? Slavery. Now God says Egypt means slavery. It's the house of bondage. Now look what he told the Israelites once again. Read it again.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Egypt, bring you into what again? Egypt meant what? What did it mean? Bondage. Another word for bondage is slavery, right? So God said, I'm going to bring you into slavery again. How?
With ships.
How?
With ships.
Where about, I want them to see it. Because a lot, come here sis, I want you to see this. Because a lot of people, they think we crazy standing out here in the heat of the sun with a Bible.
Looks similar to that right there, and I'm going to have to teach you.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. Read that out loud for the people.
Jacqueline and Janelle.
Verse 68. Go
It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
That's in the Bible.
Jacqueline and Janelle.
That's why we go around calling ourselves Kemetic and Haitian and African American. We are in a state of confusion because the white man taught us that this book was a religious book. It's a history book of one people. God said that I'm going to bring you under curses and do what? Read it again.
With ships.
From the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Slavery again. How?
With ships.
Now you answer me. How did black folks get to America? Historically. How did we get here? That's in the Bible that you say, I don't like that. You know why? Because the white man set up, that's nowhere in the Bible. And they told you Jesus looked like that.
They done took so much out.
They didn't take it out. The white man lied to you. You know why? Because they wouldn't allow. What's the one thing? Well, we got all of the books. We got all the books.
So if you're going to read these, then you have to read.
Hold on. Show in the middle. Show in the middle. No. Oh, there you go. What's that called? But listen. Let's just go by. You know what we call stuff like that? That's called judgment. That's somebody been judged by God and they got to go find out what the hell's going on. But there we go. Lord bless your heart. All right. Now, so you see the Apocrypha's in there. But God said that he would send you back into Egypt or slavery by what means? What way did God say he would send you into slavery? Brother, by what way?
I gotta go. I'm gonna get on the bus.
What way? Okay, get a flyer. Get a flyer. You got one? Okay. Now check it out. It says ship. Go back to it. Deuteronomy 28. Now look, it's going to get even more specific of the ships. Read that.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again.
Talk about Egypt, go ahead.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
What happened to black people when they got off the slave ships back in the 1600s? Was they allowed to walk around free? What happened to them? They got what? Here it is, right here. What did white people do to black people when they got off the slave ships? They made them slaves. And how did they switch up their slaves? Did they give them away freely? What did they do to them? Huh? Read it again.
Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
So God said you would be what? Sold. That's in the Bible that we ain't never learned. You would go into slavery on ships, and then God said, I will make you be sold to your enemies. Now look at the name he gave the people. Read that.
Hey, let it go! For bondmen and bondwomen.
No, verse 29, Deuteronomy 29 and 1.
The book of Deuteronomy.
Chapter 2, the name of the people that he said would be sold. Read that.
Chapter 29 and verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
What did God call the name of those people that was sold on ships as slaves? No, what was the name he gave them? Not what he did. A covenant's something you do. I'm going to read it again. Pay attention. Read it.
These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
What's the name of them? The children of Israel. God said that the children of Israel would go on slavery or slave ships.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.